I was like, I'll take that challenge.
As he's spinning, spin, young man. Oh, Vince Carter.
Thank you guys for having me here.
Let's get it.
Welcome back to the Go Getter Show, brought to you by AFC Fitness in Philadelphia, powered by Sturdy Bros Productions. They say third time's the charm. How are we feeling, Nate?
Feel good.
Back from our Europe trip, I'm honestly not that jet lagged. I slept a lot last night. How do you feel?
Feel good?
Yeah. Feel good? Yeah, we were in Europe I was in Europe for 10 or 11 days. Nate was there for 4 days. Really cool experience in Paris and Athens, Greece. Wanted to hop on here just to talk about that experience. What do you think was the coolest part for you?
I think just being in Europe for the first time was pretty cool. Seeing the different cultures and the way they kind of live life over there.
It's really different over there. The language barrier was probably harder than anywhere I've ever been. And we've been to China, other crazy places. But yeah, I mean, the coolest part to me about Paris was the way of life and the cafés. I know you were enamored by some of the cafés. They pretty much have, if you've ever seen, like, what is it, Park in Philly? They have all these places on the side of the road, and they're just for coffee, for hanging out, for drinks, for some snacks. And the people sit next to each other. So it's not like if you're on a date, you normally face each other. They sit next to each other and kind of people watch, and that's the culture. So that was really unique to see. Got some really good food there. But
yeah, definitely unique. Cigarettes are pretty big over there. Yeah, it was cool. Definitely different.
Yeah, and we were over there. Obviously, the purpose was to train Lamar Stevens, former NBA player, one of our clients who plays for Paris basketball. That was one of the most uncomfortable positions I've ever been in. First time ever going into an actual season with a professional basketball player and a team. So to give you guys an idea, I was going in and my job was to work out Lamar after practice. So it's not common in Europe that an outside skills coach goes in and works with a player. So it took Lamar a lot, I think, to even get them to allow me to come. They let us in with open arms. They allowed us to watch practice, watch shoot around, which was really cool. I took a lot of stuff from that, but I think I just learned a lot in terms of putting myself in that position, and almost the goal there was not to get out something for ourselves, but was to provide value to Lamar and to provide value to the coaching staff. So we didn't even really get to film any of the sessions or get photos from any of the sessions. I was cognizant of the fact that I was stepping into that environment, and I just wanted to make a good first impression, I think. So.
Definitely uncomfortable. I mean, the coaches weren't like super, I wouldn't say not welcoming. They just were a little kind of gatekeep their entire program. And so they obviously were a little uncomfortable. I know they told Lamar no at first. And then they obviously opened their doors to at least let you in there. And you had a time constraint with the trainer because Lamar was in return to play from his toe injury. So faced a lot of unusual circumstances, but probably a good learning experience. And, obviously a unique circumstance, but
it was a really good learning experience. And I've definitely learned that people don't really realize. They think it's cool you get to go out and train an NBA guy or a EuroLeague guy, but you can only train for an hour a day. And in this case, really 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm going to the gym. Paris traffic is crazy. So I'm leaving around 9:30 in the morning. I get there probably 10:15. I now am allotted my time from 10:15 to 3 p.m., but I'm only training for 20 to 25 minutes because I have to work on Lamar's schedule. So that was one of the hardest adjustments for me, where I have maybe some other work I want to do. I want to explore Paris and do these things, but I have to allot 5 hours of my time for only 20 to 25 minutes. So that was definitely a big learning curve for me. And in the future, I definitely want to plan Danny Cooper basketball events and things that I want to do around working with players, or have multiple players in the same city. I think that was a big learning curve.
Yeah, for sure.
But actually getting on court, we had some really good work with Lamar. He broke his toe, was out 8 weeks. He's actually returning tomorrow versus Dubai in Dubai. So that's going to be really exciting for us to watch. But we got a lot of good work in with his shot. We got a lot of good work in mid-post, worked on his handle, and it was cool just to reemphasize stuff that we worked on in the summer. But it was cool. It was cool to be flown out to be somebody's guy and experience that. So also got to connect with Paris basketball, U18, U21, learned a lot of cool concepts from them. They do things way differently in Europe, as you guys have probably heard, but definitely got to take away some really cool drills and stuff like that.
Yeah, some really cool ones. The ball handling warm-ups were cool. I think the coaches talk quite a bit more over there. I mean, actually, no, they probably do here too. I guess that's just not kind of how we do things.
On where you go, I guess.
But they're very like detailed and seems like a lot of their drills do correlate to game translation though, which is cool. And they kind of break it down. And small sided games, like they had some cones, they had some live defense, they had a little bit of everything, and then the U21 guys were playing like 3-on-3, like continuous, similar to how we do some things. So it was cool to see.
One of the biggest things I learned was how fast the game was. Even we went to the Olympiacos Paris game. We can get into that a little later, but the ball moves so quickly. And as skills trainers in America, a lot of times we focus on drills and skills and moves and stuff like that, but there's not even many dribbles that take place in that game. I mean, it is so fast. And we saw there was a former NBA player. He struggled in the game. It was his first game there because the game just moves so fast and there's so many new concepts. So I learned as a coach different concepts as well and just how the game's played and the X's and O's side. But yeah, aside from that, let's talk about, I mean, the first time seeing that Eiffel Tower was really, really cool. And I saw it before you got there, but then when you got there, what was that like, seeing the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah, I mean, you hear about it and you kind of see it, you know, growing up your whole life, but to actually be there just feels like a really big like moment in your life almost. You know, you never know if you're going to get back there or not. And to be able to check it off the box is pretty cool, but it's pretty miraculous to see.
It really is. It's one of those things that you see it and it doesn't feel real. And took a lot of photos there. We actually met a French photographer and videographer there. And that's one of my favorite things to do when I'm on trips is just to talk to random people. So that was cool. We got to go to the top of the tower, and that was kind of scary. We were taking an elevator up to the top, and you're a little afraid of heights, but
yeah, it's a little windy up there.
No, it was scary. It was a little scary.
That was cool though.
Yeah. What else about Paris can we talk about?
I thought the traffic was really crazy, but it would be like 6 miles to get to our destination. It would take like an hour. It's just really like unbelievable, honestly. And then like the underground transportation, similar to like a subway or it's they had a lot of like different routes and they're all interconnected. And so we took that into the city the one day, which was cool. But it seems like that's a lot more efficient and they kind of encourage their people to do that a lot more. So
I think the driving there is worse than anywhere I've ever been, even New York City. And I think I said when we were there, they should make driving in Paris a test for the Navy SEALs or something, because one day it was raining. They're very big on motorcycles and bikers, and there's bikers on both sides of you. There's cars cutting you off everywhere, and it just feels like you're in a freaking training course, like trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B. The parking lots are super confusing. But we made it out unscathed, and it was a really good experience.
Yeah, it was cool.
I think I improved my driving skills. But, no, that was cool. And I think just overall the culture of the people there and the lifestyle, it's weird. Like people eat dinner super late. And one thing I also was different, the tipping culture is not as prevalent. I don't know. America gets all these things from I don't know where.
Yeah, I didn't see a screen turned once, which was impressive. I mean, that's the worst when you're out getting like a coffee and they turn the screen and it's like 18, 20, 22 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, come on. But yeah, no, it was definitely a lot different and seemed a little more laid back and people kind of just enjoy their life a little more and kind of live carefree. A lot of people were like making out everywhere. Paris feels like a very like romantic place.
No, it is. It's definitely very romantic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Paris was really cool. Trying to think what else we did. I mean, we
walked around a bunch.
Walked around a lot. We went to the Louis Vuitton store. There's actually a cool thing there where you get the tax refund.
Yeah, but I guess with the euros, it's really more American USD. So they charge more, but they make you think it's less because it's less in euros.
Yeah. But
then by the time you get the refund, it probably equals out anyway. So yeah, I don't know. We checked it out. I was contemplating, but didn't pull the trigger. So
yeah, no. So Paris was really cool. One of the coolest cities I've ever been to. It's really not too bad of a flight either. It's 6.5 hours. The problem is the jet lag hits you really hard because if you don't stay up that whole day, you're going to get rocked. So the first day, you fly at 7 p.m., you land at probably 8 a.m.
So it's essentially like taking a red eye in the States.
But if you don't stay up that whole day, you're going to be rocked. So I took a nap the first day. I was up till 4 or 5 a.m. every single night. I forced Nate to stay up the first day. He did a pretty good job with that. And honestly, didn't seem too jet lagged.
Powered through. Yeah.
Trying to think of what else I can touch on from that experience. I mean, just training wise, I think I definitely learned as a trainer and coach, I need to get way better at the X's and O's side, because if you can go into a culture and a program and you can understand their X's and O's and you can understand their tactical style of play, then they'll really respect you. I didn't want to go in and show Lamar all these crazy things that maybe we'd work on in the off season, but he wouldn't do in their game because I wouldn't garner their respect. So it was just a big.
Yes, big I think the night before I got there, you watched some film and kind of understood Paris's offense a little more. And then that day you kind of focused on some like ball screen through or like dribble handoff threes, stopping behind, maybe 1 or 2 dribbles coming off it. So you kind of like narrowed down your focus a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it was really hard the first couple of days. I was really nervous and I felt like all the coaching staff would be watching me like every single workout. And I only had 20 to 25 minutes. So first couple of days were a little shaky. So that night, actually, I couldn't sleep. The Eagles were playing. So I had the Paris basketball film and the Eagles side by side. And I was up till 6:30 in the morning, just making sure I was prepared. And the next day was the best workout. So that was cool. But yeah, Paris was a really cool experience. And then we head to Athens, Greece. What day did we go to Athens?
Thursday.
We went to Athens Thursday.
Got up early. No, not that early.
2 p.m. flight. Got there at 6:15, and then went to our Airbnb. Got a pretty cool Airbnb right in the heart of Athens, and we went right to searching for basketball courts and walked right to an outdoor basketball court. What was that like?
It was cool. I mean, the kids, like, it's almost like they spend, like, all their time there. And it reminds me of, like, how I grew up. Like, I was always just, like, living at a basketball court, waiting for people to show up and play. And, so many kids here, it's, like, especially, like, at our current facility, it's, like, every kid, like, it's so rigid. Like, oh, we got to go to basketball training. We got to work with a trainer one-on-one. We got to do this. Over there, like, not only do they not have the resources, but it's more like everybody just goes to the local park and they just play and have fun. And there's a beauty in that for sure. And I think that's how kids really will get a lot better. But yeah, it was cool to see. We met a lot of kids. They ended up falling in love with us. Really funny, and they were excited. Yeah, you could touch on it as well.
Yeah, the weather in Greece was like 70 degrees, so the kids would be outside at the outdoor parks. There were probably 20 to 30 kids that were outside. And you got kids doing all types of things. Some kids are playing basketball. Some are hitting their vapes at like 13, 14 years old. But you're right. There was a beauty in it. Just kids being out there unsupervised in an unstructured environment. So we got out there. First thing we did was play these kids 2-on-2. And it was not good for them. So that was fun. And then taught them how to shoot a little bit and just kind of talk to them and pick their brain about Greece. And then we asked them where we should eat. And there was a place right across the street. And this one kid just kind of followed us. His name was Dimitri. So he was 13-year-old. And I was like, don't you have parents? Like, where? He's like, I can kind of roam around, do whatever I want. And just spoke volumes, I guess, to the culture over there. And maybe they feel safe doing that as a 13-year-old. But
yeah. I mean, I used to do that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Reminded me a lot of myself. But, he was like a sponge, though. He was like attached to us, wanted to like pick our brain and learn and just talk to us. And that was cool, for sure. It's like when I was on the court, just like kind of taking it in, it's just like so cool to be in another country and kind of see the kids and how they operate. And it was really fun. And can only imagine how many more places in the world have, even similar and crazier experiences like that. So,
yeah. And some of the kids were telling us they don't have that much access to indoor gyms or coaches and trainers, stuff like that. So they were saying that's kind of like their hangout spot where they go every night and just hoop and hang out. So it was really cool. And then we got to the food spot and the people behind the counter saw the camera and were super hype and wanted to get in and shout it out. So it's just cool connecting with different people.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
So then what did we do? We checked out the Acropolis and the
go in at
Parthenon.
Night, but,
we went in that night.
Well, we tried. We couldn't get in.
So that was really cool. Like I think it was over 2,000 years old, just building on the top of the hill in Athens.
Well, yeah, so then we woke up the next morning. We went and checked it out. And then we went down to the marina.
I think it's Piraeus
Yeah.
is the town in Greece.
Yeah, so we were supposed to get dinner or lunch with Lamar, but he got caught up with team activities. So then we're just kind of checking out the yachts. I mean, there had to be thousands of them. Pretty cool. Got some good lunch. Our food took forever.
This
to
was
come.
wild. I ordered my food. They brought it out.
It took probably 30 minutes to get yours.
And then I finished my food, and Nate's food still wasn't there.
Took another like 30 minutes.
The one thing that's different in these European countries, you're not gonna have the waiters and waitresses like be on top of you and hound you. So it took us 30 minutes, I think, to even order. Then it took 30 minutes to get my food. Then another 30 to get yours. So I kind of felt uncomfortable, but I had to almost get up and get their attention multiple times. In America, they check on you every 5 minutes, it feels like.
Yeah.
So that was different. They really want you to sit down and enjoy yourself and enjoy your meal. But yeah, those yachts were pretty cool.
They were cool, yeah. From there, I think we went back, kind of just hung out, and then we checked out the basketball court again before we left for the Olympiacos game. And we met another kid, kind of talked to him for a little bit, and then we met a bunch of girls that were about to train.
Yeah.
Or have practice or something at that same court that we were at the night before. And you were about to show them like how to shoot, and then we kind of got escorted out.
Yeah, there were like 10-year-old girls that they were all lining up, super excited to learn how to shoot, and then we got shut down by one of the coaches there that said we weren't supposed to be filming and posting content, but it was cool. It was cool. It was cool to see them all excited to learn, and I think now, like you said earlier, we kind of planted a seed with some kids there, so when we do a camp there, I think it could be
hopefully
pretty
they can
successful.
help generate some interest.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we went to the Olympiacos Paris game.
Snuck in the camera.
Got your camera. We didn't even really have to sneak it in. I mean, they didn't even really check us.
Yeah.
And that environment was something I've only seen really one time before. I went to an Arsenal Newcastle United football game, soccer, in 2012 in London. The fans over there are just different. They are standing up pretty much the whole time, chanting, singing, barely on their phones. Yeah,
It's a lot different. Yeah.
a lot different.
It feels like a high school like student section in like the entire gym, and it's like adults for the most part, and they take their sports really seriously over there, and the game of itself feels like a lot more condensed. Like the court is smaller, it's a lot harder to get in the paint.
Yeah,
the games are a lot faster. You got to make
seems so fast,
but you got to make like precise passes, or they're not getting through.
Yeah.
I mean, the decision making has to be like literally 0.5 seconds, or you're not, gonna have an advantage. Feels like shots are rushed, and we saw some guys struggle over there, but it's definitely a cool environment, a lot different play style. So yeah, you could touch on that.
Yeah, from a training perspective, it just with higher level guys further reiterated the need for them to work on quick decision making and just live play, because these decisions, I mean, you see the American players really do struggle because growing up, a lot of times they play one-on-one and they dribble a lot. There's very, very little dribbling. Like you see Luka and Harden in the NBA holding the ball, taking a lot of dribbles. There's not much of that at all. There's a lot of ball screens, but it's just decisions.
There's also no 3 seconds in the paint. So
yeah.
You got the big guy just camping out down there. You're not getting a straight line drive to finish at the rim.
Yeah.
Whereas in the NBA, you got 3 seconds. Luka purposely waits for the defender under the rim to clear out, makes his move. Yep. Now he's got the defender rotating over late, or he's able to get a move around him because he's still in the process of rotating. Whereas EuroLeague, that Hall dude from Olympiacos, I mean, he's just chilling down there waiting. Yeah. So it's a lot different.
Olympiacos had some studs. I mean, Frank Ntilikina, Thomas Walkup. Trying to think who else. Evan Fournier. So a lot of former NBA guys, people in America, I don't think realize this EuroLeague is probably the second best league in the world.
I think it's harder.
Behind the NBA.
It's way harder.
Oh, probably harder for sure for an American to go there. But I mean, just another big thing I took away was the ball screen coverage. They do something called show or hard hedge. People might know in America. They don't have a 7-foot big guy who's going to be drop coverage, which they do in the NBA. So ball handlers have to handle the show, which is essentially like a quick double team. Now you got to make a read. Can you get around? Can you hit the short roll? Can you throw a skip pass? So it's a big adjustment for guards too.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was a great environment, loud.
we had our feet on the wood.
Feet on the wood. Got some cool pictures. Lady came up to me though around like second quarter, and she noticed I had a camera, and she asked me to stop filming. But we connected with the Paris basketball content team, and hopefully if we make it back, they'll hook it up so I don't have to worry about it. But it was cool.
Coolest part about these trips is I feel like connect with just one person that we met is going to lead to something down the line. It might not be for 5 years, but I think that, number one, and then showing that we're there also just builds the brand immensely and shows people that. And there's a lot of stuff in the works for 2026. There's Australia camp in the works for January, Dubai showcase in April. And I think it just builds on that global brand. And hopefully we'll start to get more players and they'll start to play really well. So, you know, if Lamar plays really well, that makes us look really good because coaches saw my work with him, and obviously we can post about that stuff.
Right. Hopefully we could get to like one of the countries like a day sooner, go to a park like we did in Greece, and now you get an extra like 10 to 15 kids that come to a camp.
Yeah.
So it's like a good organic way to kind of get your camp numbers up.
No,
So
for sure.
That'd be cool.
Because camps around the world, people don't realize they're very, very difficult. A lot of times you do them pro bono or for free or for very little. To actually make money from doing a camp overseas, you have to have a really, really big brand. So I think because a lot of camps that I've done, I've collabed with other trainers and coaches in that area. So to be able to go to Greece and hold our own camp, you have to have a stronghold of people there that actually know you. And I know we have a big following in certain countries, but it's definitely important to get your boots on the ground, put the work in early, and then maybe down the line you can actually do your own camp. So
For sure.
that'd be cool. But yeah, it was a really, really cool trip. Excited to be home in Philly for hopefully a couple weeks. Been a lot of travel, but traveling is always super cool. Get to learn a lot, meet a lot of cool people, and open up our eyes to new experiences. So yeah, any closing thoughts or?
No, I think just cool to see Europe for the first time, and definitely excites me to think of how many kids there are that really lack resources that we could help out. So
Yeah, I think Africa would be really cool.
that would be cool.
Really cool place. Everywhere. There's so many places I want to go, obviously.
Maybe learning more of the language before we get somewhere. Or,
That would be cool.
or like if you came in and like you know how to say like 1, 2, 3 and
Mhm.
whatever language it is, like I feel like that could be like a really good way to win people over pretty quick. So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like little stuff like that, I'm sure we can improve at. But yeah, it was cool.
For sure. Yeah, with go-getters, hopefully we've been traveling so much, so it's been hard to get guests on, honestly, in this last couple months. But hopefully in the winter we can line up a lot of good guests for you guys. But wanted to just get this out there, stay consistent. And I think the last internal actually did really well, talking about Mac's experience and us in Indiana. Actually, I don't know if we were in Indiana yet, but
We weren't. No.
we weren't there yet. We were talking about the potential, but just talking about our experiences and different things that's going on in our lives, I think is good. But stay tuned. This is episode 14. We're staying consistent and going to have a lot of good guests coming up in the winter, hopefully, for you guys. So, yeah, that's all. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always.
Let us know where you want to see us next.
Peace.